Welcome to Today at Keeneland. It is Thursday, April 15th, as we have reached a very good card here today at Keeneland Racecourse. Scott Hazelton, Gabby Gaudette with you. Welcome to Today at Keeneland. For those of you joining us on WKYT as well as TVG2 and the various other outlets, including Keeneland.com or on the Keeneland Race Day app. Gabby, this is a really nice card. Going through the pick four this morning, I was kind of running scared. I mean, honestly, the late pick four today, I was very hesitant to not include horses. I think this late pick four is one of the better ones that we've seen so far for a midweek card.
I would totally agree with you. I think you and I both know we work days in advance, but today, tomorrow, and Saturday's program, the racing just gets better. You would think that, maybe not so much as we get past the first two weekends, but my gosh, looking at the card for the upcoming days, it is solid and some opportunities to make a lot of money.
Yeah, how good is the Elkhorn on Saturday? Have you had a chance to dig into that one?
I have. It should be a grade one. I mean, some of those horses that are coming out of the races have been exiting grade one races. So, yeah, that's a loaded field and include it in some of the undercard races as well, Scott.
Take a look back at yesterday. For those of you that had success, hopefully you scored with some of the big prices that happened early on in the card. We had wet conditions throughout the afternoon, no turf racing, just a field of three in the featured event. But it turned out to be a cracker, as they say in Europe. And it was good racing overall, but much drier conditions here today expected for this 9-race card.
Wesley Ward with a 2-year-old winner and some prices yesterday as well. Kind of went back and forth between heavy favorites delivering, but also some nice prices. So some of those multi-race sequences did pay well, but completely different conditions today, as you mentioned. Luckily, we dried up over the night, and it is still chilly, though. It was chilly last night. It's going to it shouldn't warm up too much this afternoon, but at least the sun is out.
Yesterday, that 2-year-old winner, Nakatomi, did you hear the backstory on the name there?
Mm-mm.
He's by Firing Line. It's a reference to Die Hard, the very famous movie with Bruce Willis. That was the name of the corporation of the building that all the activity happened in Die Hard. Tell me you've seen Die Hard.
I have seen Die Hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move along. You're going to be in line for a hard time if you've never seen Die Hard. Time for the latest on the the weather by going to WKYT.
We are tracking a nicer day out of Keeneland. It's chilly, you get a little bit of a breeze, and you're going to find that those numbers are going to be a little hard to take, even though they're not that bad in the grand scheme of things. You get 50s out there for the most part all day long, from first post to last post, a mix of sun and clouds out there. Chillier tonight, and of course early tomorrow morning as the horses get out there for some of the early morning workouts. But drier conditions, what we experienced out there yesterday. Get out there and win something big.
I could see you as a weather person here locally,
Yeah.
Gabby. You think about that?
Yeah, I've given it a long, hard thought.
Working the green screen and the clicker. You think you could navigate that?
I might be more right about the weather than some of my picks, so maybe it would be a good direction to go in.
You could do that. You could take a trainer's license. You can carry on with your activities here at Keeneland. I think you've got a lot of doors that are open that you need to charge through.
Let's do it all.
Let's do it. All right. It's your turn now to go through the complete card picks presented by TVG, 9-race card, and here they are.
We agree in the 4th race with the number 2 horse. That is Saint Station for Bernie Flint. It's a claiming race, so I agree. I mean, that horse isn't going to be a great price, but I do think is the worthy horse in there. And then we also agree in race 6, but that is all. And race 6 does kick off the late pick 4. Maybe just use the 5-7 spread after that. Looks like we both agree on the top 2, at least in the 6th race.
You know, I just realized that is a live shot because that's the actual time right now on the Rolex clock here at Keeneland.
And it took you how long to figure that out?
3 years, I think we've been doing this.
You're sharp.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Make sure you download the Keeneland Race Day app, and that's how you can keep track of the latest selections from Gabby, myself, and a host of other top handicappers as they do change over the course of the mornings when scratches do come in. And also give us a follow on social media at Keeneland Racing on Twitter, also at Keeneland Sales. We've got the April sale coming up here in just a matter of days, Horses of Racing Age sale at Keeneland on Facebook, at Keeneland on Instagram, and the Watch TVG app. That is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Apple TV. Download it right now. You'll have access to both TVG, TVG2, and the TVG Racebook. It is the best way to watch racing each and every day. The Watch TVG app, download it right now. I promise you that's how you will be watching TVG every day. Bottom line. All right, the featured event today It's race number 7. 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. We've yet to find out the turf conditions thus far, but that will be announced here in the coming minutes. But we know that they're on the turf. Went West is a scratch. Joker on Jack is the 3-1 morning line favorite in a toughie.
This is a tough race, and Wesley Ward does send out 2 horses with the 8 Joker on Jack, who oddly enough has never been on turf, and he's a son of a declaration of war. He's got a really nice French pedigree on the bottom side as well, so he makes his turf debut today. Well, I shouldn't say that. He ran on the turf in Newbury and in England, but he also has Maven in there, who looks like a runner as well.
And that's where I go. I think that this gelding will be primed and ready, as all the Wesley runners have been this meet. Whether first-time starters or horses coming off of some layoffs, hasn't been seen in 7 months. They tried him in Stakes Company in his last 2. He ran in a tough race at Kentucky Downs last time out, but didn't have a good go there. You could read the comment line, bad step near the quarter pole, and was essentially pulled up from that point on. But he won his debut here at Aqueduct. He won a Group 3 at Chantilly in France. Was 10th in a Group 3 at Goodwood back in July of 2019. And then let's go back to his last race here at Keeneland. It was in the summer meet here at Keeneland Racecourse, and he went gate to wire. He broke sharp and just kept on going. And if he's ready to roll today, I think that he's the one to catch in here. There are a lot of horses that are good turf sprinters that want to lay off the pace and make a run at him. Edgemont Road, I think, is the X factor in here, but is he as effective on the turf course as he has been throughout his career on the main track? So Maven and Johnny Velasquez, I think, have a big opportunity. Wesley Ward, Richie Raven, a longtime client of Wesley. This is from a nice first dam, Richie's Party Girl, who was a stakes winner, obviously getting to American Pharoah. This is her first and only runner thus far. I like Maven on top to bounce back. And I do have Edgemont Road underneath in the second slot. He comes out of that Zenden race, Zenden going over and winning the Golden Shaheen on Dubai World Cup night. I find it an interesting spot for him to move over to grass, but I think that you've got to pick your spots with a horse that's gone through his conditions. I mean, here's an opportunity. He's ready to run off the 2-month layoff, so they're going to give it a shot here today on the turf course. It's a tough draw, but if he's quick, he should be right there with Maven if he's as quick as he has been on the dirt in the past. And then finally to the 8-horse Joker on Jack, who will be trying to sit just off of the pace and likely stablemate if Maven is right today. So a good race and a challenging one in this late pick 4.
I didn't use Edgemont Road, but he's by Spitestown, and he's out of a Scat Daddy mare. You'd think that he would love the turf, but his only turf try wasn't a good one, so we'll see what he can do now with trainer Eddie Keneally. I did go to the outside runner, the 8 Joker on Jack for trainer Wesley Ward. We'll take you back to his last race. This was at Turfway over the synthetic surface that day. But I liked this win because it was just extremely professional. The rider in Gerardo Corrales just kept on after him, and he kept on responding to his encouragement as well. So I don't think that this is probably his preferred surface. I think he's going to be even better coming back to the turf today. Again, he's by declaration of war. He's got that turf pedigree, and he's fast. I don't think he needs the lead. I agree with you, Scott, that Maven is probably going to set the tempo early. We'll see what Edgemont Road does from the rail. But this horse, I think, could get a really nice trip just stalking the pace under Joel Rosario. And it just seems like Wesley Ward and Joel Rosario have been on the same wavelength so far during this Keeneland meeting. So the 8 Joker on Jack is the top pick. I'll use the 7 Guildsman in second for Brendan Walsh because this horse is getting a class relief. This is, a solid allowance group, but I don't think it's anything like what he was facing in some of those stakes races, even grade 2, grade 3 races from last year. So the class relief should help him, especially coming back to the turf. And then I have the 5 Bad Beat Brian for Mike Maker, who is stepping up in class, but he's coming into the race off of a 3-race win streak. So you like to see in a race where some horses might not be coming into the race off of stellar performances, this horse is in good form, and Mike Maker can certainly move horses up. So the 5 Bad Beat Brian I thought was really interesting in there as well.
He is a threat. There's no question about it. Let's check in with Tom Leach for more on this featured race.
Going to be another busy day for trainer Wesley Ward. We want to talk about some horses in the allowance races on the card today. Maven first, nice Group 3 winner in France. How's he doing coming up to this race?
He's doing great. He's kind of a horses for courses, and this is his home, so he loves Keeneland, so he gave him the winter off. And He's back, and hopefully he runs as well as he did last year.
What about with the give in the ground? Any concern?
It's always a concern when you got a speed horse. You got a little bit of give. So, but you know, this is his track, and he ran so well last year. So we're hoping for a big effort.
You got Joker and Jack in that same race. How's he doing?
He's doing good. He's really, you know, in training the horse for all these years, he's a polytrack sort of specialist. He really loves the polytrack, and unfortunately, Woodbine's not open. That was what we were kind of pointing to. He's got turf breeding, of course, but there are two different horses with two different styles. So he'll come from behind, and Maven will hopefully be up there on the pace.
And then our working girl in the next race, nice win last year. How's she doing?
She's doing very well. The owners have been very patient. She had a nice race, her first race, where she won. We shipped her from Keeneland to Aqueduct, and kind of been waiting for this meet, for this particular race, and she's just been training outstanding. I look for a real big race for her.
So you see a horse that's improved definitely from last year.
Oh yeah, she's much better than the numbers she ran. She's always been a quality filly, but it's just one of those fillies that's kind of taken a little bit of time to bring out what she's going to be, and hopefully she'll show that.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So covering a lot of ground there, the two in the feature, and then touching on our working girl. She is in race number 8, if you didn't catch that. She's the number 7 horse, 5-2 morning line favorite, part of that late pick 4 as well. Let's jump into our key races, and we're going to go right into race number 8. 3-year-old fillies, non-winners of 2 lifetime, sprinting 6 furlongs. There's our working girl. I'm going to go to the full horse Inject here in this spot for Brad Cox and Lewis Wright, a filly by Frosted, $390,000 Keeneland September yearling from 2019. She's run some big races. She recently ran on the turf course at Fairgrounds, but let's go 2 starts back at Oaklawn Park. This was her first start at the age of 3 after a successful 2-year-old campaign, which included a victory first out at Ellis Park. She ran just off the pace. This was over a sloppy course, and the filly of this race, Abrogate, would come out of here and win the Purple Martin Stakes. So was beaten by a very nice filly on this afternoon. She's very consistent. She's got a perfect style for sprinters. She holds good early position. She's always within striking range. I look for her and Luis Saez to run a big race here in race number 8 and have the 2 and 6 underneath. Mischieful for Ian Wilkes, who was speedy on debut and comes right back in good order. And then on the outside, the number 6 horse is the third choice, Dealing Justice for Ray Handel. She was beaten. The 2 defeats that she was handed was by a nice filly, Miss Brazil. Her race at Aqueduct when she broke her maiden was good. Don't worry about the time. The track is slow that time of the year at Aqueduct. 1:13.1 is on par and is actually a good time. So I think that she's one that you've got to consider in race number 8.
I'm going to stay with this race and pick it up where you left off, Scott, with the number 6, Dealing Justice for trainer Ray Handel. Yes, it was very disappointing in the Ruthless last time out, but you mentioned Miss Brazil. She's a very, very nice filly. We'll take you back to her race 2 starts back. This was before the Ruthless when she broke her maiden, and she wound up getting an 83 Beyer speed figure for this, and the way she did it was so impressive. She kind of lowered herself down, pinned her ears back, and just gave everything to jockey Dylan Davis, and she did it pretty easily in the end, and it was an encouraging race, so that was encouraging enough for Ray Handel to go on and face Stakes Company in her next start. I did ask Ray what happened to her in the last race. He said everything came back just fine. So they weren't able to really find a legitimate excuse with her. But since then, they gave her time to mature and develop. And he thinks that she has been training really, really well in the morning. So he's here in Kentucky for this race. The number 6, Dealing Justice, will be the top pick for me. And then the 2, Mischieful for Ian Wilkes. She just had a huge improvement from her first race to her second race. And we see that with Ian Wilkes' horses. But if they're good enough to run well in their first start and even better in their second start, they're going to take a big step forward in their third start. That's just how the barn goes. And if that's the case, she will likely win this race. She also has speed. And then the 4, Inject, I'm not crazy about her, Scott. I know you like her. She's your top pick. She's just not improving, in my opinion. I think she'll be better on a fast main track, but she's kind of running the same race every single time. So I'd almost be inclined to swap her for the 7, Our Working Girl, after that wonderful interview with Tom Leach, because didn't it sound like Wesley Ward was really high on this filly today?
Yeah, it does, and I absolutely would agree with that sentiment. And that's the nice thing about getting a chance to hear from these trainers at this point in the day. You get that information, you can utilize it in a late pick 4 or late pick 5, so take advantage of what Wesley has said about Our Working Girl in race number 8. Let's back it up to race number 5. That's my next key race. Race number 5, a 3 other than allowance race at a mile and a 16th on the turf course. Bandua is out. Looks like he'll be running this weekend. I believe he's in the Elkhorn. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Busy Channel is the number 10 horse, also scratched. Gray's Creek is the morning line favorite at odds of 7-2. That's the 11 horse. I'm going to stay in the middle of this field and go to Argentello for Connor Murphy. And I'm trusting Brian Hernandez here. With this horse in Spanish Kingdom being ridden by Brian Hernandez Jr. in their last couple of starts, this is the type of race that you would expect these types of horses to be pointed towards. So I don't think this would be a surprise, hey, we're going to run here, and I've already given the call. I'd be willing to bet that Brian Hernandez had to make a decision, he and his jocks agent, and they're sticking with the number 5 horse, Argentello. And let's go back to his last race. He rallied from well off of it, over firm going. He's a horse that can also sit a little bit closer, and you can see the lengths that he had to make up. He comes around the group in front of him after a sluggish start and being bumped at the break, and he's just going to run him down. And he is a 6-year-old that has been very lightly campaigned, started off his career in the UK. He's come here. This is his first start in the United States, and he's run against some good horses in his last couple. Logical Myth in his race 2 starts back. Heck, even in his second start here in the United States, he was defeated by Ivor by just 4.5 lengths, who turned into a Grade 1 winner right here at Keeneland Racecourse. So Argentello on top, then Spanish Kingdom underneath the number 4 horse, and then go down to the inside, the 2 horse Artie's Rumor, who's a winner here at Keeneland in the past and continues to show up and run big races. This is another tough event on the card today, race number 5, and it does start the late pick 5 here today, a 50-cent minimum wager. You're going to take us back, though, to race number 2, which is also a start to a multi-race exotic. It'll start the early pick 4 today.
And this race is a first-level allowance, 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. And your favorite is the number 5, Pirate Rick, for Kenny Von Hemel. And it's just a question of whether or not this horse is going to like the turf or not. So the one, Oceanic and Pirate Rick, they have faced each other before in the past. Pirate Rick got the better of Oceanic, but that was on the dirt. I think it's a completely different race on the turf. The one, Oceanic, is going to be the top pick for me because I just truly think that his trainer, Jordan Blair, has found out what makes him tick, and that is sprinting on the turf. His race 2 back, which we'll show you at Tampa, was strong, and in fact, it was his first race sprinting on the turf. We've seen Constitutions, they run on everything, but they're particularly good on the turf course, and this horse was just completely different. He showed speed out of the gate. He went 21-3, 43-4 for the half, final time of 55-4, and he came back against first-level allowance competition, and he actually ran really well in that event. He still showed speed. They went a little bit faster that day, and I just thought that overall it was a very good performance. So if he's capable of running the figures, the races that he was running in Tampa, I'm pretty sure he can win this race, and I like the fact that Javier Castellano is aboard him today because he should be sharp out of the gate. So he's the top pick, the 4 ready to answer. My problem with him is with turf sprinters, it's just so hard to navigate a trip when you close from off of the pace, and that was the case with the 4 ready to answer. I think he's got talent, but he has to figure out the right type of trip today. Not always that easy. And then I will respect the 5, Pirate Rick. I just think that he's a better dirt horse than turf horse. He does get to the turf for the first time today. He's by Liam's map. He's got Scat Daddy on the bottom side. So we could see him be versatile. But Scott, usually horses, they're better on one surface in particular. And I just think he's probably going to wind up being better on the turf. But I don't mind the fact that they're taking a shot with this horse on the turf today. So that's how I saw the second race. It's a pretty tricky race to kick off the early pick 4.
I'll get back to that second race in a bit, but let's roll through the Clocker report. Race number 3 is where we will begin with the 2-year-olds Ding Ding, 4-1 on the morning line. Exceptional speed, work locally, 21% trainer with 2-year-olds. That is John Ennis, who's had a heck of a meet with his youngsters this spring. And then Costana in the 9th race, the number 2 horse, Two Good Breezes here, gets the leading rider. All systems go in the 9th. So that is race 3, the 4, race 9, the 2. It is late pick 4 time, Gabby, and as always, you have the honors.
All right, here's a look at my ticket. 2578 in the 6th race, a maiden $50,000 claiming event, like my coverage there. And the 7th race using the 3, 5, 7, and 8. I also thought that was a race you needed coverage. I mentioned I didn't use the 3 Maven in my top 3, but definitely wanted to include that horse in the late pick 4. In the 8th race, we touched on this. I really liked what Wesley Ward had to say with regard to the 7, Our Working Girl. I did not include her on this ticket. I will include her, though, if I play the late pick 4, just thinking that Wesley Ward was really high on her. So maybe make that adjustment in the 8th race. And then the 9th race, just using 2 horses with the 2 and the 10 for a $48 play.
Here's my play. I'll go 5 deep in this first leg. 1, 2, 5, 7, and 8. This is a toughie to get through, in my opinion. This whole entire sequence is tough. Plutonium, the rail horse, getting out to a route for the first time. Son of Go Sapper, could improve him. That's why I'm going to include him in this spot. French Toast, not a bad race on debut for Rapoli Stable, and Johnny Velasquez taking the call on to race number 7, the 1, 3, and 8. I think we've got him, got it in a good spot there, with those being the top players. Gabby's right, though, about the horse, the number 5 horse, Bad Beat Brian. Tough to ignore him in his current form, but he's going to have to step up with these kinds. 2, 4, and 6, with Mischieful being the 2, the number 4 horse, Inject for Brad Cox, the 6, Dealing Justice for Ray Handel. And, yeah, if you've got the budget, throw the 7 in there with the way that Wesley talked about Our Working Girl. And then down to 2 in the nightcap, that maiden special weight, the 2, Costana, who was second in the most recent start, and then the number 7 horse, that's Flippant, a daughter of Tappet, who comes from a first dam Frivolous, who was a turf winner. So this is a pedigree play for Flippant. Vicky Oliver for G. Watts Humphrey Jr., who had a nice day yesterday, and Joel Rosario is in the saddle. It is time now for our best angles of the afternoon, and you're going to take us back to that 5th race here on the card.
You didn't, I don't think you used my top selection, which is the 8 Grays Creek, did you?
I didn't.
Okay. I really, really like this horse today, and unfortunately he's a favorite at 7-2, but 7-2, you'll still make a decent amount of money on this horse. So his races have been extremely impressive as of late. So we'll take you back to his race at Keeneland, and he completely ran down a very good group of allowance horses. And Scott, he was coming into this race off of a 3.5 length victory, going a mile at Churchill. He came back to go the mile here at Keeneland, and you can see this horse in the OXO Silks, the red cap, number 2 that day, just completely barreling down the stretch. He goes from last to first to get the number 3, My America, on the line, knowing exactly where that finish line is. He came back off of a freshening in December to win an allowance race, another allowance race at Gulfstream Park. So he's out of conditions, essentially. Chad Brown sent him to Tampa to run in the Grade 3 Tampa Bay. I can remember having a conversation with Johnny Velasquez before the race, and he said, especially with the configuration of the turf course at Tampa, it's impossible to win from post 12 because you make that sharp left-hand turn. You can't get into position if you have a closer. Maybe if you have the fastest horse in the race, you can just ask them to go, hustle them to the lead. But when you have a horse that has this running style, it's really, really hard to win with that type of post draw. I think he's good enough to win a Grade 3. I certainly think he's good enough to win this race, and it was just unfortunate last time out. Now, he doesn't have a great post today, but it's much more fair of a configuration than what you get at Tampa. So he's my best angle of the day, and I'm going to be using him to key him on top of the exacta, with the 1, 3, 9, and the 12. So that's my play.
All right, I'm going to go back to race number 2, that turf sprint that we've already touched on, Other Than Company, where you've got the Von Hemel horse as the morning line favorite, Pirate Rick for Kelly Von Hemel, Albaugh Family Stable. High purchase price is a yearling in 2018 at the Keeneland September sale. They paid $350 for him. The angle here is the distance. I mean, this is a horse that shows speed and gets caught going 3/4 of a mile. So what do? You shorten a horse up in distance. There are not 5.5 furlong sprint races on the dirt here at Keeneland, so you have to move over to the grass course. And that is the reason why I like this Colton here. And you mentioned his breeding. It's fine for the turf course. Scat Daddy Mare, Liam's Map. You've heard of a horse named Colonel Liam, who's the best turf horse, middle distance turf horse in America right now. So Pirate Rick is the top play for me. And we'll go back to the 28th of March where he set the pace against in a $100,000 non-winners to 2 lifetime allowance company. and he just gets tired. And you can see the type of fractions that he puts together. So if he handles this grass course today, he will be the one that is going to try to be caught by the rest of this group. And comes in with a sharp workout at Oaklawn Park in 46-4. Or that was the lead into this race, I should say. I think he builds off of this race, too. It was his first race since the end of January, so some recency in his form. And they could have kept him at Oaklawn Park. There's still a lot of racing left at Oaklawn and chase the big money there, but they're going to take this approach, and I like it. And Kelly Von Hemel is a good horseman. So Pirate Rick for me in that 5th race. I will key him on top in an exacta, $10 exacta. You can make it a $5 exacta, whatever it is, and use Oceanic because they're going to be the two out there as long as Pirate Rick handles this turf course today, and they'll be setting the pace in there. So 5 over the 1, $10 play in race number 2. Let's get to Tom Leach's long shot pick of the day, and he is going to go to race number 9, the nightcap. He likes a 10-1 morning line shot. That is the number 6 horse, Kind Ways, for Mr. Farish, a homebred for Mr. Farish, and Shug McGahee, well beaten on debut at Gulfstream Park. And Shug and Farish at 10%, granddaughter of Dynaformer, should love more distance and should step forward by Noble Mission as well on the top side. So Kind Ways, Drayden Van Dyke in the saddle. That is the long shot pick of the day from Tom Leach. Some good racing today, Gabby. Bottom line, can't emphasize it enough.
It is, and those are our opinions. We talked to you about our opinions, but the best opinion is your own, and I truly think that you can make some money today. These turf races are wide open. The late pick 4 is not easy, but I truly think it's going to pay well today.
For Gabby, I am Scott and the entire team here today at Keeneland. Enjoy it. First post in just over an hour.
The excitement of Kentucky Derby Week and the return of the Keeneland April Horses of Racing Age Sale. Backed by a history of success, the 2021 April sale introduces a new integrated format featuring an enhanced all-digital catalog and the option to buy horses on site in the Keeneland sales ring or remote from anywhere in the world. The April Horses of Racing Age Sale, Monday, April 26th.
Start your journey in a new Toyota. Where you end up is up to you. With 14 different all-wheel drive Toyotas to choose from, the possibilities are endless. Head to the trails in a Prius. Find a fishing hole with RAV4. Just have fun in a Tacoma. Hit the slopes in the family-size Highlander. Or get a grip on the road in the all-wheel drive Camry. All come with the traction you need for confident driving. Any road, any weather. Your adventure, your Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
Keeneland Racecourse. At this time, we ask that you would please rise in tribute to our national anthem. Keeneland is proud to recognize Dakota Darty from the beverage department as the Employee of the Day. Dakota, congratulations.
In the event of an emergency, Keeneland is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our patrons. This video illustrates the proper evacuation protocol from all locations in the Keeneland Grandstand facility. Depending on the nature of the emergency, directions may be altered. Please remain calm and follow the direction of guest services and security personnel. Patrons should never use elevators during an evacuation. Patrons in the corporate boxes, Eclipse Room, and Phoenix Room should exit using the stairway located near Elevator A. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and veer right to exit through the lower club entrance. Patrons in the Lafayette Room, Keeneland Room, Lexington Room, and Kentucky Room should exit using the stairway located near Elevator B. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the paddock area using the East Gate. Patrons in the third floor main clubhouse and clubhouse paddock dining rooms should exit using the stairway located near Elevator A. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and veer right to exit through the lower club entrance. Patrons in the Bluegrass Room and third floor ITW area should exit using the stairway located near Elevator B. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the paddock area using the East Gate. Patrons in the Finish Line Room and Green Room should exit using the stairway leading to the North Terrace. Proceed down the stairs to the second level and through the doors outside. Proceed down the stairs to the ground level and exit through the North Gate. Patrons in the outside reserved grandstand seats and boxes should proceed down the nearest stairway to the ground level. Proceed under the grandstand towards the paddock area and exit via the nearest point of exit, the South Gate or the East Gate. Patrons in the second floor main clubhouse dining room and Life Members Room should exit using the stairway on the south side of the administrative offices. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the South Gate. Patrons in the second floor clubhouse paddock dining room and clubhouse tavern should exit using the stairway located near Elevator A. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and veer right to exit through the lower club entrance. Patrons in the mezzanine bar and second floor ITW area should exit using the stairway located near Elevator B. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the paddock area using the East Gate. Patrons in the sports bar and cantina should exit through the doors leading to the North Terrace. Proceed down the stairs to the ground level and exit through the North Gate. Patrons in the lower club, clubhouse lawn, club lobby, and director's room should proceed toward the clubhouse parking lot using the nearest point of exit. Patrons in the gift shop should proceed toward the South Gate using the nearest point of exit. Patrons in the apron area should proceed under the grandstand towards the paddock area and exit via the nearest point of exit, the South Gate or the East Gate. Patrons in the equestrian room and first floor Brats and Brew should proceed towards the North Terrace and exit through the North Gate. Patrons in the paddock area and North Terrace should proceed toward the nearest point of exit, the South Gate, East Gate, or North Gate. After evacuating the facility, please remain calm and follow the direction of guest services and security personnel in the safest route to return to your vehicle. Thank you for your attention and cooperation.
They're off. There goes Sunny Isle Beach along with Champagne Toast. And Champagne Toast will have the early lead and scoots over next to the rail as they head for the first turn. Sunny Isle Beach is now second up on the outside. Dramatizer away third. A little flyer fourth on the outside, and Time for Glory at the back as they move into the turn. Champagne Toast is the leader, and Champagne Toast is on top by just over a length. Dramatizer is second by a head. And there's Sunny Isle Beach inching forward toward the outside now to challenge for that second spot. Takes second and neck, a length off the lead as they enter the back stretch. A little flyer next to last, and Time for Glory nearly 5 from the front is the trailer. 24.95 seconds over the sloppy going on the main track here in the opener at Keeneland. Champagne Toast is the leader. Champagne Toast on top by a length. Sunny Isle Beach second ahead. Dramatizer fights back to the inside of that one from third. A break of 2 more lengths back to a little flyer. 2 back of that one, Time for Glory. Midpoint of the backstretch, 49.13 seconds was the time for the opening half mile. Champagne Toast will guide the field onto the far turn, leading Sunny Isle Beach by a length. Dramatizer close third to the inside, and then a little flyer, 3 lanes off the rail in fourth, 3 from the front, gap of 2 more. Time for Glory is the trailer. Midway on the final turn, it is Champagne Toast in front. Dramatizer moves up just off the leader's flank and second by a length and a half. And then a little flyer past the quarter pole. Sunny Isle Beach drops back. Time for Glory has to go wide from last, still 7 lengths from the lead. Here's Dramatizer up to put a head in front off the far turn. Champagne Toast fights right back, regains the lead a half length into the final furlong. Time for Glory 5 lengths away in third. It is Champagne Toast with the lead toward the rail. Dramatizer second a length away. Time for Glory has gone to third, but still far back at the wire. Champagne Toast, Dramatizer. Champagne Toast wins at a half length. Dramatizer second. Time for Glory across the wire in third. A little flyer fourth, and Sunny Isle Beach was fifth.
Jimmy Graham and Champagne Toast taking advantage of the inside draw and the speed. That got her to the front. The favorite tried to stalk.
Champagne Toast, owned by Elements Racing LLC of Stephen Smith, trained by Kelly Rubley, James Graham, the jockey. Champagne Toast, a 3-year-old. First wire, they are at the post. They're off. There goes Betty B from the far outside. Lady Kaza between horses a step quicker, though, than War Eagle's Love down toward the inside. Lady Kaza has the lead, gets over toward the rail, leads the field into the first turn. As War Eagle's Love goes second, Betty B third, now taking second by a neck up the outside as they move midway on the first turn. Then Matt's Honey, 1 lane off the rail in fourth position, up within 2.5 lengths of the lead. Gap of 2, Maria Rose is in fifth. Malibu Moira is sixth. Positive Vibes, last of the 7, 24.46 seconds the time for the opening quarter. Lady Kaza, the leader. Lady Kaza leads it by 3/4 of a length. Betty B second, 3/4 of a length. Matt's Honey third, travels out in the center of the track. War Eagle's Love is fourth toward the inside. And then Maria Rose in fifth, shifting lanes toward the outside. Still 4 from the front, though. Gap of 3 back to Malibu Moira, and 3 more back of that one. Positive Vibes brings up the back of the pack in 48.53 seconds for the opening half mile. Lady Kaza, the leader, 3/4 of a length to the far turn. And Betty B second a length to Matt's Honey third. War Eagle's Love is in fourth. Maria Rose fifth on the outside, still nearly 5 from the front, though. Malibu Moira next to last. She has lost ground around the turn, and Positive Vibes moves up on her outside from last as the leader, Lady Kaza, is at the quarter pole. Betty B is a neck away from the lead and now starting to draw alongside. Matt's Honey a length off the front pair third, top of the short stretch. Positive Vibes has gone to fourth. Malibu Moira is down toward the inside, now changing lanes behind horses in the fifth position as they move into the stretch. Positive Vibes on the far outside is coming after Matt's Honey and still fighting on Betty B. Those 3 at the front. Matt's Honey ahead in front. Positive Vibes now moves on by. Positive Vibes, James Graham aboard. Positive Vibes to win it. It's going to be close for second. Either Betty B or Matt's Honey. Behind that pair, Malibu Moira across the line in fourth.
Jimmy Graham sweeping the early daily double here in the sloppy conditions at Keeneland Racecourse. He took the open.
New numbers 76254. Again, the new numbers following the steward's ruling 76254 for Keeneland's second race. In the winner's circle is number 7, Betty B, owned by Marilyn Bramblage, who bred the winner in Kentucky, trained by Kelsey Danner, Tyler Gaffalione. They're off. There goes Mubarmaj out running for the early lead. Mubarmaj right to the front. Our Alibi there to the inside. Someday Jones is there up toward the outside, and Fort Peck is away running in the fourth position. Big, beautiful wall, fifth to the inside. Olympic Romp moves up one spot around the outside of that one, and Olympic Romp going to shift lanes down to the rail now to save some ground. Head picks up another position in the process, goes to fourth, moves up to challenge for third. Pikachu further back is the trailer as they head on to the back stretch. Our Alibi, the leader. Our Alibi has the lead by a length now. Bubaraj is second by a length and a half. Someday Jones is third up on the outside by just a neck, and Olympic Romp is fourth to his inside. It was 23.54 seconds for the opening quarter, and then further back it is Fort Peck on the outside, travels in fifth, nearly 5 lengths off the lead, followed by Big Beautiful Wall to the inside, and Pikachu alongside that one is last, 6 from the front, following an opening half mile in 47.88 seconds. Our Alibi is the leader. Mubarmaj just a neck off the lead in second a length to Someday Jones, who's third up on the outside, a length off the front pair. Going to go wide to the far turn, though. And then Fort Peck alongside Olympic Romp. Big Beautiful Wall, Pikachu at the back. They're midway on the final turn. Our Alibi and Mubarmaj matching strides as they come to the quarter pole. They are 3 lengths to the good. Someday Jones third. Fort Peck is a wide fourth. Olympic Romp is fifth toward the inside. Big Beautiful Wall, Pikachu at the back. They turn into the short stretch, and Mubarmaj has a narrow lead. Our Alibi is second. Fort Peck to third. Someday Jones is fourth down toward the inside. Our Alibi fighting on to the inside, but Mubarmaj has a narrow lead. Someday Jones, Fort Peck. Big Beautiful Wall is fifth. Mubarmaj, the leader in deep stretch. Mubarmaj and Luis Saez. Mubarmaj wins it. Going to be close for second. It was either Fort Peck or Someday Jones for that runner-up spot. Behind that pair, Our Alibi fourth.
Mubarmaj had a tough customer to deal with. Our Alibi, who was as game as could possibly be throughout a majority of this race before he finally tired. But
in the winner's circle for Keeneland's third race, 5, Mubarmaj, owned by Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners of Aaron Wellman, owned also by Alex Dagenot, trained by Todd Pletcher, the jockey Luis Saez. Mubarmaj, a 5-year-old son of Curlin out of Christie's Treasure by Belong to Me, bred in Kentucky by Alpha Delta Stables, LLC. Mile and a and they're off. Valiant Charge outrunning for the early lead. Lieutenant Finn. Nakatomi now taking the lead, and Happy Soul. Happy Soul to the lead now. Nakatomi goes second. Lieutenant Finn is third. Valiant Charge is in fourth. Attaboy Anthony is fifth, about to reach sixth. Baytown Warrior wide seventh. Warrior eighth toward the inside. Knocker Down is in ninth position. Junior's Gift is 10th. And Cheyenne Wind, the last of the 11, as they round the far turn. Happy Soul leading Nakatomi by a length and a half to the top of the stretch. They turn for home. They've opened up by 10 lengths. Back to Lieutenant Finn in third. Valiant Charge in fourth. Baytown Warrior fifth. About to Rage is sixth. But the top two are moving by the eighth pole. Happy Soul has the lead by a length. Here comes Nakatomi again from the outside. Happy Soul, Nakatomi. Ward is 1-2. Nakatomi gets a narrow lead past the 16th pole. Nakatomi, Joel Rosario getting up to win it. Happy Soul across the line in second. Attaboy Anthony rallies up on the outside for third. Knocker Down was fourth. Lieutenant Finn was fifth. Official winner of Keeneland's fourth race, the Brookdale 10, Nakatomi, owned by Mark DeTample, trained by Wesley Ward. Joel Rosario, the jockey. Nakatomi, a 2-year-old gelded son of Firing Line out of Appalachia by Flatter, bred in Kentucky by Arnold Zetcher, LLC, and Crestwood. And they're off. There's Peter's Kitten from the outside. Stand Tall has speed, now looks ahead in front. Lenny Kate moves up. Lenny Kate down toward the rail moves up to challenge for the top spot. My Last First Kiss going to stack up to the far outside, going to be caught 3 lanes off the rail into that first turn. Lenny Kate saves the ground and has the early lead now by a half length as Stand Tall goes second between horses a half length. My Last First Kiss, far outside, travels wide around the turn in third, and Peter's Kitten is trailing in the fourth position, ducks over toward the inside, just over 2 lengths off the leader. Opening quarter is on the board at 23.85 seconds over the sloppy going on the main track, and Lenny Kate the leader. It is Lenny Kate against the rail with a head in front. Stand Tall starts to draw alongside from second a half length, and My Last First Kiss still toward the far outside, stays in the center of the track in third. Room for Peter's Kitten to move up just a couple of feet down toward the inside, but going to need more room from there to the far turn after an opening half mile of 47.88 seconds. And back up front, it is Lenny Kate who continues to show the way, leads it by a half length. And Stand Tall is still second. My Last First Kiss to the far outside. The top 3 separated by less than a length. And Peter's Kitten still there in fourth, just taking it all in behind that front trio as they work their way around the far turn. Stand Tall between horses, ahead in front. Lenny Kate is right there to the inside. My Last First Kiss still there toward the outside. These 3 in front of Peter's Kitten, who starts to move toward the center of the track to line them up for a cross as they move on by the quarter pole. Peter's Kitten down the far outside, but Stand Tall toward the inside has a narrow lead. My Last First Kiss is fighting on between that pair. Lenny Kate backs up to fourth into the final furlong. Stand Tall, the leader, a length and a half. Here's Peter's Kitten still trying to reel in the leader. Stand Tall is in front. Peter's Kitten 2 lengths away. Stand Tall coming to the line. Stand Tall, Brian Hernandez Jr. to win it. From Peter's Kitten home second, My Last First Kiss third, and Lenny Kate was fourth.
The biggest price in a field of 4 comes
And they're off. There's Seascape out for the lead. Here comes Deemed Essential moving up on the outside. Legendary Gift away running in third. And Take Charge Patty fourth back toward the inside. Seascape is the early leader. Seascape in front for Luis Saez against the rail into the first turn as Deemed Essential goes to second just off the leader's flank. Around the turn, Take Charge Patty third back toward the inside, third a half length as Legendary Gift moves up a closer fourth on the outside. High Fashion got over to the rail, managed to save some ground around the first turn. Back in that fifth position, Tone My Betty is in sixth. Runaway Mom seventh. Causeway Princess is at the back. It was 23.88 seconds for that opening quarter over the sloppy going. Seascape is the leader, 3/4 of a length. Deemed Essential second a length up the back stretch. And then Take Charge Patty is third a half length. Legendary Gift fourth up on the outside. High Fashion still against the rail, still in that fifth position, nearly 5 lengths from the front as they head for the far turn. Runaway Mom and then Tone My Betty, who stacks up last to the far outside, 47.82 seconds. Should say Causeway Princess is actually last, has lost contact with the field as they head to the far turn. Back up front, it is Seascape who continues to lead it by 3/4 of a length. Deemed Essential second, a length and a half. And then Take Charge Patty between horses. High Fashion looking for room down toward the inside. Legendary Gift is still wide around the turn. High Fashion moves up the rail, fifth to fourth to third, 2 lengths off the lead, but they're coming to the top of the short stretch, and Seascape is the leader. Seascape leads at a length and a half. Deemed Essential second. High Fashion going to try to find room down toward the inside from third to second, trying to squeeze on by to challenge for the lead in the final furlong. Legendary Gift is fourth on the far outside. High Fashion up the rail to the lead from Seascape. Deemed Essential, Legendary Gift in fourth. It is High Fashion. Brian Hernandez Jr. cut the corner, found the room. High Fashion wins it from Seascape home second. Deemed Essential was across the line in third. Legendary Gift fourth, and Take Charge Patty fifth.
High Fashion splitting, or coming through on the inside, I should say, splitting the pace setter and the rail to get this victory. She had the pace set up. And
Keeneland sixth race, 9 High Fashion. The winner owned and bred in Kentucky by G. Watts Humphrey Jr. and W.S. Farish. Rusty Arnold trains Brian Hernandez. Post. And they're off. There goes Final Cut for the lead, and His Glory right there on the outside. And these two go right at it coming out of the starting gate. Joy Epifora going to back away into the third position under James Graham to let the other two duke it out for the top spot early as they head to the first turn. It's going to be Final Cut who prevails here in the early going, has the lead now by just over a length around the turn. His Glory goes second, stays a lane off the rail, and Joy Epifora is in that third position as these three work their way around the first turn and on to the back stretch. It is Final Cut who is the leader. Final Cut leads it by 3/4 of a length, and His Glory goes second. Opening quarter, 24.45 seconds, and Joy Epifora is third for the move up the back stretch, just over 2 lengths off the lead. Final Cut, Rafael Bejarano showing the way here at Keeneland, having the advantage by a length at the midpoint of the back stretch in this afternoon's feature. His Glory still there in the second position. Now starts to move forward once again, just to neck separate the top two, and Joy Epifora is in third position, 48.28 seconds the time for that opening half mile. Over to the far turn they go. Final Cut the leader, and His Glory alongside. A half length between the top two. Joy Epifora is still third down toward the inside, 2 lengths off the lead. The front pair are working their way to the quarter pole. His Glory puts ahead in front. Final Cut being pushed along now and asks for more in second as they turn for home. And Joy Epifora carefully starts to move toward the outside to the top of the short stretch from third to challenge for second, but His Glory has the lead. His Glory in front by 2 lengths. Joy Epifora takes aim at the leader now in the final furlong. Final Cut is third. Here's Joy Epifora coming after His Glory. His Glory leads at a half length. Joy Epifora is there. His Glory, Joy Epifora. Head-bobbing photo for the win of this afternoon's feature. Either His Glory or Joy Epifora behind that pair. Final Cut across the line in third.
Tight finish in the feature between His Glory, the 8, who made the move around the turn, passing the pace setter.
Seventh and featured race, the winter quarter allowance, 8, His Glory. Owned by MyRacehorse.com of They're off. Petit Verdot broke into stride. Kierkegaard is quicker, though, and Verified is being sent up toward the inside. There goes Verified up to take the lead and opens up here by a length and a half. Petit Verdot into second. Autopilot is third. Kierkegaard backs away into fourth. 3 lengths from the front. Inspector Frost is fifth on his outside. Fast Bob is sixth down toward the rail. Magic Carpet is a wide seventh. Raphael moves up between horses. 1 spot from eighth. And hats off to you. Last of the 9. 22.35 seconds for the opening quarter. Verified and Petit Verdot 1-2 around the turn, separated by a half length gap of 2. Inspector Frost is third by a head. Autopilot is fourth down toward the inside. 3 more to Kierkegaard to the top of the stretch. Fifth toward the center of the track. 6 lengths off the lead, and then Fast Bob. They turn for home. Verified the leader, but Petit Verdot is still there on the outside. Inspector Frost trying to find more from third. Kierkegaard and Fast Bob working as a team out in the center of the racetrack. Fast Bob and Kierkegaard trying to chase down Verified, but Verified has a 4-length lead inside the 8th pole. It is Verified by 3.5 to Fast Bob and Kierkegaard. Verified is chased all the way by Fast Bob. Verified a length to the good. Fast Bob still trying. Verified wins at a half length on the line. Fast Bob second, Kierkegaard third, Inspector Frost fourth, and Petit. Winner of Keeneland's 8th race, 3 Verified. Owned by Big Chief Racing LLC of Matthew Bryan. Owned by the Rocker O Ranch LLC of Ronald Ortowski. Owned also by Keith DeSormo, trained by Keith DeSormo. 3 wins for James Graham today, who bookends the card. Verified is